Hello everyone. In this video clip, we shall continue with our second type of factorization. So without further ado, let's start. So our second type of factorization will consist of 4 terms. Whenever you see 4 terms, and you will notice that each term, all these 4 terms doesn't really have the common factors. So what do? Always group 2 by 2. So let's underline it. Don't bracket it, underline. Okay. So you see AC and AD both contain A. So we can factorize the A out. We will have A times with C plus D. Okay. So this one I go straight because it's basically the revision of the first type of factorization. And then BC plus BD, I factorize the B out. I left with C plus D. And do you notice that C plus D, they are the same common factors for both terms. Therefore, I can factorize the C plus D out. All right, so I will have, after I've taken out C plus D, put at the back, the first term will left with A plus the second term left with B. So this is our factorization. Now let's see what are the questions that we can use to apply this. Now, first of all, let us practice the factors, okay? The factors, the linear expression, which happen to be our factors here. So let's practice that part first. So A, we have P times 3 minus Q plus 6, 3 minus Q. So isn't it 3 minus Q is the common factors? So let's factorize that out. So we will have 3 minus Q put outside, put at the back. So after I've taken out the 3 minus Q, I left with P. And then this one will left with plus 6. That's it. That's our factorization for A. And as for B, we have R plus 3S, R plus 3S. This is the common factor. So let's factorize that out. Put at the back R plus 3S. You may ask, can I put in front? Well, you can, all right? So no issue. Now, after I have taken out R plus 3S, the first term will left with 5. So bracket 5. The second term will left with minus M. So minus M. That's it. So it's better to put at the back because if you learn from the expansion, when we have 2 brackets, when we expand it, we always take the first times the one at the back, the bracket at the back. Do you remember this? And then minus M. Okay, this first times the second bracket, then followed by the second times the second bracket. So that is the reason I prefer to put the factor at the back so that it tally with our expansion. All right, part C. A minus B, but I have B minus A here. So how? Okay, we have to turn it so that it is in our the zone that we are comfortable, that we have learned. Okay, so how? Let it be A minus B. So like this, 7 A minus B minus, now let's put the bracket. Instead of B minus A, I have to make it A minus B. How? I have to factorize the negative out of this. So I will have negative B plus A, isn't it? Okay, one more time. You can think of this way. I don't want the negative to be in front of the A, so I take out the negative. Okay, I take out the negative. So double check. Negative times negative, I get back positive B. Negative times positive, I get back negative A. So my factorization doesn't affect everything. It just changes how it looks only. So after we have settled the one in the bracket, now let's write it in the same format. That is A must be in front, minus B at the back. And at the same time, this one we can swap the position, the law of the commutative law. Okay, so A minus B. And what about the negative here? We shall combine with the negative outside. So negative times negative is positive. Positive. Therefore, I have A minus B and a minus b. So I can just factorize the a minus b. So what do I left behind for the first term? 7. What about the second term? There is an invisible 1 here. So plus 1. And 7 plus 1, they are like terms. Both are constant. So we can add them together. So we have 8a minus b. That is our factorization. The last part, d. D, we have d times 2e minus f plus e f minus 2e. Similar problem like C. So what do? Let's set 2e minus f. This is the factor that we want. So how are we going to change this one? So the round bracket will go through the transformation in the square bracket. So in order for me to get back positive 2e minus f, that means I change the sign, isn't it? That means I factorize this negative out. So double check, negative 2e, negative times 2e, get back negative 2e, negative times negative f, I get back positive f. So it's correct. And my factors will remain the same. So let's open up the square bracket by multiplying the negative with the number in front. Okay, so positive times negative, I got negative e. All right, 2e minus f. And therefore, the common factor is 2e minus f. And after I factorize that out, the first term left with d, and the second term left with negative e. And that's it. These are the questions that can be asked in the 4 terms factorization. Now, once we are familiar with this kind of factorization, now we group ourselves. We group the terms ourselves. So let's recall what we're supposed to do. First step, we have to arrange the terms into 2 groups with the common factor. So underline, don't draw bracket. Yeah? Underline so that we can identify our 2 groups. And for each group, let's factorize them. So we will have the common terms. The common factors is x. So take the x out, left with a plus b. Take the y out, we're left with a plus b. And a plus b is the common factor for both terms. So completely factorize this. Part 2 is partial done. Okay, to complete it, we have to further factorize the a plus b. So we will have this. So with that in mind, let's solve the a until d. So always remember, we underline the 2 terms. Don't put bracket, okay? Why? For example, like C. If I put bracket, you see, I will change the question totally. It should be negative 7x, negative 7y. But the moment I put bracket, if I open the bracket again, it will become negative 7x plus 7y. So I have changed the question entirely. So don't use bracket. Just underline it so that the negative in front will not affect the actual value. So let's come back to our A. So 4x minus bx, so common factors, x. So take the x out. So after I've taken an x, I left with 4 minus b behind, followed by the second term. Common things is y, so take the y out, so plus y. Left behind 4 minus b. It will always be the common factor 4 minus b. So let's take that out, 4 minus b. The first term will left with x, the second term will left with y. So that is our factorization. Okay, part B. For part B, I have AB plus 5AY. So both contain A, so let's factorize the A out. So after I've taken out the A, first term left with B. After I've taken out the A, second term left with 5Y. Okay, continue the second group. Now, this time I do like this. I definitely will have B plus 5Y. Now I work backwards. How do I get back B, C? I must multiply with C. And double check the second term, 5 times with 5Y times D. Do I get back 5CY? Yes. Therefore, definitely that it will be correct. Definitely correct. If it is correct for the first one, it will always correct for the second one. So now we find a common factor b plus 5y. And after I've taken it out, I left with a in the first term, c in the second term. That's it. Now, let's look at part C. Part C, we have negative, so got to be careful. So the first group, x squared plus xy, both contain x, so we can factorize the x out. And after factorize, the first term left with x, the second term left with y. Always double check. X times x, get back x squared, correct. X times y, get back xy, so correct. Now, the next part will be, I must see x plus y in my factorization. So then we work backwards. How do I get back negative 7x? Times what to get back negative 7x? We multiply with 7, isn't it? Negative 7 times x, we get back negative 7x. Negative 7 times y, we get back negative 7y. So this way will help us to ease the process of finding the factor outside, especially dealing with negative. Okay, so now we can write the factors x plus y out. So the first term left with x, the second term left with negative 7. That's it. Let's continue with part D. So let's underline, group them into two groups. So 20kh minus 12k, both contain k, and both are the multiples of 4. So we can take the 4k out of this first group. So in order for us to get back 20, so 4 must multiply with 5. Settle the number, now settle the variable. In order for us to get back kh, I have k outside, I just need to have h inside. So done with the first term. What about the second term? How do I get back 12k minus 12k? So it must be negative here and 3. 4 times 3 is 12. K already taken out. So that's it. We have done the factorization for the first group. Then the second group, we can always start by writing the factors that is the same as the first group. It will be the same. Otherwise, this question will not be asked. Now, let's work backwards. How do I get back positive 15? Without h, that means it comes from the 3 here. Okay? Therefore, how do I get positive 15? Multiply what number with negative 3? Give us positive 15. It is negative 5. Okay? So double check. Do I get the same terms as in the question? So negative 5 times 5h, I will get negative 25h. See? I got negative 25h. Check one more time. Negative 5 times negative 3, I get back positive 15. Okay? Therefore, the common factors can be factorized now. And the first term will left with 4k. The second term will left with 5. That's it. Now, you may use the other way. I mean, slightly different. 4k, I mean, same thing for the first partner. The second part, you may do this one. You may do, you take out, both contain 5. So I take the 5 out. So the first term will left with 3, and then the second term will left with minus 5h. However, this and this is not common, but they look similar. I just need to swap the place. So how am I going to swap so that my 3 become negative and my negative 5 become positive? That is, factorize the negative out. So once you take the negative out, you will combine the positive 5 with the negative that we just taken out. So you got negative 5. But let me just show a longer way so that you know what I mean. I factorize the negative out so that my 3 become negative 3 and my positive 5, negative 5h become positive 5h. Then I get back the same, isn't it? Now I combine the negative with this 5 here. So I will have 5h minus 3, negative 5, and then 5h minus 3. So it comes back to the same format as this one. So factorize 5h minus 3. The first term left with 4k. The second term left with negative 5. So that's it. Okay, so that's it for this type of factorization. I'll see you in the next video clip. Thank you.